Hi. In this video, I want to talk about interfaces as types. Java has single inheritance, but classes can implement multiple interfaces. Interfaces are not part of the class hierarchy. However, if a class implements an interface, its objects have an is-a relationship with that interface type. Because of that, we can say that objects can have many types. When I say they can have many types, I mean they can have an is-a relationship with many types. They are instances of many types. For example, the own type, the superclass type, any ancestor type like the superclass of a superclass, interface types. Let's look at an example. Let's say I have a variable called myBird. It's of type bird, and I instantiate it with a new bird. Bird is a class that derives from animal, which means it's the subclass of animal, and animal derives from object, so animal is a subclass from object. Besides that, bird implements the interface flyable. Notice the dotted line in the UML class diagram indicates that this is an interface implementation. Own type means myBird is a bird. It's an instance of bird. Superclass type, myBird is an animal. It's an instance of animal. Ancestor type, myBird is an object. It's an instance of object. Interface, myBird is a flyable. It's an instance of flyable. If I have a variable myBird of type bird, I can assign it to my animal. I can say my animal is myBird because myBird is an animal. I could say my object is myBird because myBird is an object. I could also say my flyable gets assigned myBird because myBird is a flyable. Notice, type of my flyable is in interface type. Interface type names can be used wherever any other type name can be used. myBird is of a class type that implemented flyable. Interfaces can never be instantiated. Why? Because interface methods are implicitly abstract. They do not have a method body. Interfaces have no implementation. Because of that, interfaces cannot be instantiated. But I can assign an instantiation of a class type that implements my interface. Let's look at some more examples. Let's say the first line. Here I have a variable myList. It's of type list of circles, and I assign it a new array list. List of circle is an interface type. I assign an instance of a class that implements list. Array list implements list, so that works nicely. Here I have a variable array. Its type is an array of flyables. That is an interface type. Not a problem. I can use an interface type wherever I can use another type, so I can have an array of flyables. I use an array initializer to initialize it with a variable bird1 and another bird that I create right here in my array initializer. Both elements are birds. Bird is a class that implements flyable, so that is all good. Third line, I have a variable called birds. The type is an array of birds. That works great. I initialize it with bird1, a variable, and a new flyable. Here is the problem. I cannot instantiate an interface. Interfaces do not include any implementation. They cannot be instantiated. Fourth line, I have a variable, myList. MyList is of the interface type list of circle. That works nicely. I can create a variable of an interface type. As a matter of fact, this is a good idea. It makes my code more flexible. It allows me to later on exchange my implementation. The problem though is the attempt to create a new list of circle. List is an interface type, and no, interfaces cannot be instantiated. Now it's your turn. Look at the 5 statements, find out whether those statements are valid or whether there is a problem. Pause the video. When you're ready, press continue. Let's look at the first statement. Flyable is an interface. It cannot be instantiated. Second line. I cannot instantiate a new list. List is an interface. Third line. Array of birds that is initialized with birds. That works great. Fourth line. No. A list cannot be instantiated, regardless whether I try to assign it to a variable of type list or a variable of type array list. Right next to the new operator, you cannot have an interface type. Interfaces do not have constructors. Last one, my word list is a list of string, which is fine, and I assign it an array list, a class that implements a list of string. Works nicely.